What's going on, guys? It's Larry White here, and I am so thrilled to be here with Jeanine Corcoran. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, Larry, good morning. So happy to be here with you.
No, here's the thing, guys. I am so excited to be on here with Jeanine. So we've been working together for, going on 2 years now. And Jeanine was an absolute rock star out of St. Cloud, Florida, Central Florida kind of region there, runs the Corcoran Connection, has, about 15 agents in her brokerage there. She's been in real estate for going on 16 years now. At the peak of her game, 2019, absolutely crushed it. We had 50 deals closed, over $10 million in volume, just crushed it. Your best year ever in 2019, yes?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the most interesting part of what I see today is that we still have an entire quarter left. We're already at 41 deals closed for $13 million in volume.
Right.
But the interesting part is we have 16 deals pending right now.
That's crazy, yeah.
It is crazy, right? That's the most we've ever had pending, right?
Yeah, and that's just me. That's not even my office, right?
Yeah, that is just you and your personal production right now, which is just bananas to think about that. So what I want to share with everybody here, right, is to be able to handle that workload alone, like there has to be systems, there has to be procedures, right? There has to be some accountability in place. And so when we talk about going from your best year ever to your best year ever, like it's hard to go back to back, right? It's a lot easier being the underdog, like, okay, this was my worst year, so next year has to be better, right? So to go back to back championships is a lot harder to do. Yeah. So let's talk about 3 things that changed from 19 to 20 that you think allowed this. And what would you say number 1 would be on your side, Jeanine?
I think definitely number 1 was something that I picked up on. I noticed that in the first quarter of every year, I was pretty much not closing many deals. I look at the office and, some people will be closing, but there's a pattern.
Sure.
And once I knew there was a pattern, you pointed out that, well, that pattern is because of what's happening in the last quarter, which I knew would happen because quarter 4, I would always think, oh, holidays, slowing down. I'll do some of my classes, pick up on, your credits and everything that you have to do. And so basically not following up, we're not creating new leads and things of that nature actually affected the first quarter. So in all my career, this was the first year that 2020, I killed it the first quarter because of my last quarter. Because
we changed kind of that work ethic in the 4th, right? And let me ask you this, right? Because did you have a terrible Christmas and Thanksgiving season? Like, was it miserable? Did you hate life or anything?
No, I hated you because I knew in my mind, it's like you have this old habit for how many years that you have to just like still work during the last quarter. And but yeah, you still have plenty of time to do everything else during that time.
Right. And that's the thing, guys. Like, I want people to have a life worth living and a business worth running. And as long as you kind of take advantage and you run your real estate career like a business, it will operate like that. And I tell people, like, if you went shopping at Target, right, and you showed up at 1 o'clock in the day and they were closed, like, you would be surprised, right? Or if you showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they were open, you would be surprised because they have hours, right? Like, they have this, and we should do our same thing in our real estate. So you absolutely crush it. You kept your pedal to the metal the entire 4th quarter, and I mean, exploded to have our best Q1. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now the next part, let's talk about some of the systems, right? Because a lot of people have databases or CRMs, and you had one as well. But it was all over the place, right? And so we weren't using it to its peak, using it to its advantage. So how did we systematize, and what do we do with your database to be able to make sure that we could handle all of this additional business?
Well, one of the first things that we noticed is when you pulled up my calendar, because I was using my Google to set all my reminders, that those reminders came all during the day, and I have everything color coded. So when we pulled up my calendar for any one day, it looked like I had 50 appointments. A lot of them were just follow up, but so we were able to get it in a good CRM, and then go ahead and make sure the calendar was just cleared during time blocking, when I make those calls, and it would just come up as one message. So that was huge. That was a big stress reliever for me.
I'm sure, like you would look at your calendar and see 50 things and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy already. I can't do these 50 things. And literally condense those 50 follow-ups into one time block. And I know we talked about, like, you will always be a much better multitasker than I ever would be, but just the fact that you had a singularity of focus, our schedule expands to the time that we allot for it. And so you were allotting 8 to 10 hours, and it was filling up all of that time. But now we're doing that same amount of work. Is it like an hour time block for follow-up? Is that what you have, or do you have more now?
Yeah, usually about an hour and a half. And I do enjoy now looking at my calendar. I guess I'm not afraid to look at my calendar,
Beautiful.
When I see it, so.
Yes. And I think that's a game changer. And you have to have that. You have to be efficient like that, especially if you're going to try and manage 16 deals in the pipeline. So rock star status for implementing and changing kind of your CRM and your database for the number 2. Now, what would be the number 3 takeaway that was your biggest lesson learned that might apply to other real estate agents across the country?
I really just think that the whole social media and videos, and just having a presence. And then I really feel like the Facebook groups are a pot of gold, and I feel like I wasn't using it the right way.
You think? Guys, let me tell you this. So our first call, she tells me she runs this little group on Facebook with her community that she lives in. I was like, oh, that's cool. How many people are in this group? She's like, oh, like 22,000. I'm being dramatic. I think it was like almost 2,000 people, right? That live in your community and stuff there. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. How many are you personally connected with? And it's like crickets. I was like, how many are in your database? It's like crickets. It was literally like Fort Knox was sitting there with the door open, and she was like, oh no, I'm good today. Like, I don't need any of that, right?
Oh, that was a game changer. That's definitely a game changer, just to be able to be just a person that always adding value to the people in the group, and then just requesting their friends and just asking how I could help them. I never brought up real estate at all, and just got to know the people a little bit better, and it really expand that whole group.
Yeah, it allowed you, the platform, to add new leads to your database every single day with people that already know, liked, and trusted you. You've been adding value to people's lives and just hoping and praying that they reach out to you for 5 or 6 years. So here's the thing, like, you were already a rock star when you came to me. And so this is kind of the beautiful part about coaching, right? Is you get so wrapped up in your business. It's important to have somebody look at, like, work on your business. And that's what we do every single week, right? The whole goal is just to pass this on to your company, to your organization and stuff at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So that they don't have to recreate the wheel,
Absolutely.
right? So if you're somewhere close to Central Florida and you're not doing the amount of business that you're looking to do, I'm telling you, because it's part of our business plan, is to grow talented agents, like to grow her network and organization. Can they reach out to you? Like, if they want to talk to you more,
Absolutely.
if they want to brainstorm. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jeanine, for jumping on this morning. I love you. Thank you. So excited to be on this journey with you. And
Thank
I'll talk
you, Larry.
to you soon. Yes. Bye, guys. Have a great day.